All I know about Mr. Mamdani, I've learned from the Commentary podcast and his Wikipedia entry. In his Wikipedia entry, I learned he went to Bowdoin and majored in Africana studies, whatever they are. I think he's illiterate economically, but I also looked up the mayoralship of New York. The mayor of New York gets to appoint the commissioner of police and the chancellor of the public schools. So this guy can do a world of damage. Do New Yorkers understand that?
New York has a very, very strong mayoralty. It used to not have a strong mayoralty. In 1989, right before Rudy Giuliani became mayor, there was the city's system of government was altered. It had a system called the Board of Estimate that really governed the city, not the mayor, and the Board of Estimate was ruled unconstitutional, and a new city charter was written, and it actually gave very, very significant powers to the mayor. Not absolute powers, like not taxation powers, but yes, he does have control of many aspects of the city and the cityscape. And I don't know that he is economically illiterate. I think he is economically radical. I don't think it's illiterate to be a democratic socialist leaning toward communism. I think it is a form of radicalism that is born of anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism. He says he does not like capital. He literally said, I don't like capitalism. He said he doesn't think there should be billionaires, which means that he does not believe that success through innovation and all of that should be rewarded. And he believes in government ownership of fundamental institutions like grocery stores. And he wants to give free stuff away. Now, many mayors do. Like, he wants to make sure that you can ride on the buses for free in New York City. Rudy Giuliani, as a sop to Staten Island, which helped him get elected in 1993, made the Staten Island ferry free. Now, to be fair, Staten Island ferry cost a quarter then to ride the Staten Island ferry. So he said, we'll make it free. It's not free anymore. Buses aren't free. Buses were free during the pandemic. That's an $800 million hit on the buses. He can't do that, by the way. He doesn't have the power to do that. That's in the hands of something called the NTA. But what he wants to do is create an economically radical and a radical city government. And that is his purpose. And I think he's a serious person in the sense that he is consistent in his socialism across the board. And he is so far, though it's only been a week or so, he has so far made it clear he is not going to moderate his views. He's not going to etch-a-sketch himself in order to make himself more palatable in the general election. He is holding fast to what he said he believed and what he goes. And in that sense, I guess he's admirable because he's not going back on his word. And now the question is there a way to prevent him from becoming mayor? Because the opposition against him, such as it is split three ways. There's a Republican candidate, a guy named Curtis Sliwa, not a very serious candidate, ran the last time, got 300,000 votes. There is an independent candidacy in the sitting mayor who decided not to run for re-election in his party because of many things involving his corruption and his pardon by Trump. That's Eric Adams. And there is Andrew Cuomo, who was humiliated in the primary, the former governor, disgraced former governor who had to resign, but nonetheless has money and does have a line. Like, there is a line on the independent ballot that he can run on. And if one or two of them don't get out of the race, there's no way for there to be a consolidated anti-Mamdani vote.
So, John, we got 1 minute. Here's my question. Are you going to leave New York if Mamdani wins?
Nah, I'm not going to leave New York. I'll tell you why. I lived through New York in the 60s. I grew up in New York in the 70s. It was a hellhole here, and it got better. It was a hellhole. It was a nightmare. It was a violent, plagued, drug-addled nightmare. It's not been so great here in the last 10 or 12 years, but this is New York, and it can survive this, creep, anti-Semite creep, and his policies won't work, so he will fail as mayor. I mean,
for full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.